Okay, final test video for this primed in red, probably finishing green engine. It's an Eco Model 7, and so we'll get this running and I'll stop it with the pliers. So off we go. Problems. Forwards. Neutral. Reverse. And she's pumping water. Good bit of pressure. No leaks. All good. And I'll stop it. Starts on the button. That's it. Job done. Nice engine, that. This is what you get from me. Vireengines.com. If you buy an exchange economy version, it won't have the peripherals, which is the carburetor and the dynasite. To keep the cost down, you may find your engine needs rebuilding, but you may have recently had a carburetor or a new dynasite or something, so you don't need the whole package. So basically you get everything in red, and you can use it. At the moment the dynasite on here is just for my test purposes. It's got the wrong pulley, but it doesn't matter. Yours will have the small pulley for a 7 and a big pulley for a 12, and your water will come out and get injected into the exhaust. I'm not doing that because I only run them for a few minutes and I don't worry about overheating the rubber exhaust. But you can see the kind of quality you get. This is my own paint finish. This is finished in red primer, nothing special, and I'll probably give it a top coat in light green, which I like. It's the original colour of the engines, but I can do them in any other top coat you like. But it won't last, this finish. The rust will start coming through in months and years. Underneath all the connections is nicely cleaned and painted and primed, so you won't get corrosion where it matters. But on the outside, I haven't had time to keep costs down to do a professional finish. If you want a professional finish, then that needs to go. You see these two units here, that shows you the difference. So this 12 horsepower cylinder head, I've finished it, and this 12 horsepower exhaust has been professionally finished. That was shot blasted, military licensed primer, and then 3 coats of 2-pack epoxy paint. So that will pretty much last and last and last. It's more durable, it's paint tolerant, and it will keep the external corrosion away a lot longer. Whereas my finish is a lot cheaper and you can touch it up yourself. It's your choice. Okay, so that's what you get, and all my engines are tested here. And I don't just sell used engines, I do nut and bolt refurbs on this. Every single part is taken out, so I've got all the peripheral bits here even, and I've de-rusted them, I've cleaned and inspected them down to virtually bare metal, and then I've primed them, in this case red, ready for top coating. So every single nut and bolt in that engine has had the same treatment. It's taken about 36 hours to build this, and the engine was actually running, had one little problem when it came here, but I've spent another 36 hours rebuilding this, as the world's #1 expert can do. It would probably take anybody else a lot longer. In fact, I know it would if they wanted to do it properly. It's got brand new bearings in the crankshaft. You've got the stainless steel upgraded pump shaft and triple seals with stainless clips. So this is a saltwater tolerant engine now, because it's got a saltwater pump shaft that the originals never had. It's got stainless steel core plugs. I always fit these because the originals rot out in salt water. And there's new ignition contact breakers and condenser, plug, top hose, gaskets throughout, new crank seals, new main bearings. The main bearings on economy models are steel, but if you go for the concourse model, I put stainless steel bearings in the main crankshaft, Also, this crankshaft has been completely stripped down to inspect the big end, little end, the pins, the con rod, because quite commonly 50% of these engines after 30 or 40 years old, they've got pitting, which would lead to premature seizure, and you won't get that from me. You get a rebuilt on this press actually. I've got special tools and jigs, and I reject any con rods which have been pitted, and I reject all of the pump shafts because they're not stainless steel. I sort the clutch out, so all these parts and gears have been rejected recent rebuilds because they're not up to spec, and I get them remachined or replaced from my vast stock of used engines. I've got about 20 here in fact, and a lot more in storage elsewhere. In my loft I've got a lot of the cleaner finished parts which have already been refurbished, and down the back store here I've got about another 20 engines which are waiting for customers who want one rebuilt. But this one's ready. Normally I've got them in stock, just I ran out last week and I thought I better build up one quick. So if somebody wants a economy 7, there it is. And I also got a 12 horsepower in stock. There's 2 people interested in that at the moment. One in North America who wants to go on a 6,000 mile trip with this Vire 12 he wants to buy. And there's another customer I think who wants it in Europe. But whoever pays and decides to really order it will get it first, and then I'll go about building another Concourse 12, which will take me about 4 weeks work for a Concourse one. It takes about 2 weeks work for one of these. So as you can see, it's nicely presented. Every single part's been stripped down, even the bolts have been cleaned and primed, and the threads have been gone through. All of the O-rings have been taken off and cleaned. Everything is good and tested, and of course with me you get the warranty from the main dealer, 12 months. I've never had a failure on these engines that I've rebuilt, and I never intend to have one. So buy it from me and you know it's not going to be out in months for another major rebuild. I sell new carburetors. This is a refurbished one which I'm testing on rigs here, and you can also buy the service kit from me, or you can buy just the diaphragm, and I sell pretty much any part you want, as you know, on these engines. Anyway, support me because I'm supporting all of you.